Hi, welcome everyone to the first episode of Talk on Talk. Today we are gonna get deep about Karol G's phenomenon. Karol G represents a new era for the urban gender as a female artist, as a creative, and as a Latin born in the USA. We can hear Karol G's name and Karol G's newer albums everywhere, at any time, and for almost Generation Z. We can say that she created the Generation G. We can hear also and see her in movies like Barbie, in the biggest stadiums like the mythical Square Garden, and making a little parenthesis, I would like to say that in an article by BBC News and contrasting it with a statistical study carried about statistica.com, we can understand, but also feel proud of our mother tongue and the individual abilities to want and to do everything possible to learn English or another language. And from this study, in a score from 1 to 800, says that Argentina have 562 points. Then it's Costa Rica follows with 136 and Cuba with 535. Colombia has a percentage of 477, and it's so curious that Mexico, being on the border with an English-speaking country, has a percentage of 447, and that is crazy. So that is nothing that we feel ashamed or something like that. Otherwise, we need to feel proud about this, and I love Karol G in that interview. And this is so amazing. And the real amazing, are the next tips that I will give you. If you are in this moment, listen to me and feeling, identified with Karol G, with me, and yeah, this is so amazing. The next tips are so amazing. So the number one is force yourself to listen everything in that language. If you're listening to me and your native language is Spanish and you want to learn English, you need to force yourself to listen everything in that language. TV series, songs, news, papers, articles. Put the settings in your phone on English. That is a really, really good tool. And if you are listening to me and your native language is English, it's the same thing, just in another language. And if you are learning and trying to speak well and blah, 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 the English subtitles help you to differentiate in the different forms of pronunciation. Also, I think that one of my truths in life is that the art of imitation. You need to have clear the art of imitation. So if you listen a song, you just need to copy that. If you are watching a TV series, you need to copy that conversation. And also, one of my kind of mantras, it's repetition is father of learning. So that is the key. Repetition and the art of imitation. And also, I need to say that there are the statistics. There are the statistics, the dates, the data, that is the right pronunciation, the data or data. But no matter what say the data, that is so important. And it's a fundamental tool in life and for practicing. That is a advice that make decisions based on data. That is like one of the best advice you gonna listen on this podcast. A practice advice. But no matter what the data, I personally think that it's not a country, it's not your context, it's you as a person. And if you have the ability to adapt, the ability to put your brain in another mindset, and also you really want, and you love another language, you're gonna do it, you wanna make it. I love the way Karol G managed all this in his personal life, in her professional life. And I think that it's a kind of key for learn also, not taking everything so serious. So yeah, that is the point. Remember that this podcast is also for practicing and learning English. So saying that, we can continue. I want to start with this episode and talk about music, about Karol G's, and also about authenticity. And feel free about your process and about your learning process. Swimming in the Karol G swimming pools. And I was been saying, we are seeing and we are living a huge moment for urban music and for urban gender. We are living a big moment for women in the reggaeton music. We can see Karol G on in red carpets of important brands, wearing designer brands, big names like Balmain, Mugler, Jacquemus, Bulgari, Vivienne Westwood. Likewise, she is representing drinks brands as the Colombian brand Postobon with the iconic Colombiana in alliance with her foundation Concorda, and others like Cross, Kappa, and Louis. We can see that spicy thing on Karol G's that makes she a represent, a pun, I don't know how to say this word, un punto de partida. Magazine Business of Fashion title, the headline reads, "The Future of Influence, Karol G." The CNN in Spanish title, How Karol G Managed to Become a Fashion Icon While Establishing Himself as a Latin Music Artist. This article was originally published by the Business of Fashion, editorial partner of CNN Style, and we can see and we can ask ourselves, is Karol G redefining the concept of urban music and helping to create a whole new, less anthropocentric generation? Forbes Colombia wrote, I open quotes, Karol G has become the first woman to reach the top 1 of the Billboard 200 with an album in Spanish, and that is just one of her success. I close quotes. But after all this, she has walked a beautiful was as a true performer of paradigms. Her first solo single was dropped out in 2014, titled Ricos Besos. To the single comes different songs and collabs with urban artists like Ozuna, Bad Bunny. In that year, 2016, was in the middle beginning of the huge career of Bad Bunny with the song Ahora Me Llama. In the 2016, Karol G started her first international collabs. Uh, I mean, her huge international collabs because Ozuna is from Puerto Rico, Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico, but their first international collaboration with pop artists like Nick Jonas, Major Lazer in 2018, Luis Fonsi, the popular singer of the big Latin hit Despacito, with Calypso, then Maluma, Pitbull, J Balvin, and the list continues with Migos, Snoop Dogg, Jesse Reyes. That Jesse Reyes is another Colombian singer living in USA. Then she born in this beautiful way with a collab with Nicki Minaj. Um, right, and after we have the people that are learning English. We have sometimes little difficult with these two words, before and after. So, but in this case, I refer to the word after. After of all this, we are gonna get deep about this relationship between Nicki Minaj and Karol G, and how Nicki Minaj and how we can see the influence of Nicki Minaj in the visual art of Karol G. Remember that in 2019, a drop of this song titled Tusa. Then she collabed with all the Jonas Brothers, then Vicky G, and in their latest release with St. Paul Ludacris, the incredible collab and impactful collab with Shakira, also with Aldo Ranks and the Colombian singer Kali Uchis. Kali Uchis is from Pereira, and both, and also with Nicki Minaj, the three ones have a nice relationship and a particular relationship with visual arts and with color. So we are gonna talk about that later. Like her newest albums, Bichota and Bichota Seasons. In this episode, we are gonna talk about the both sides of the view of the panoramic. We are gonna talk about that thing that in the academic world and in the different niches speak and talk about these sites. And we can hide that reggaeton has a strong lyric. We can hide that reggaeton historical has characterism by denigrate women, denigrate sexuality, and denigrate bodies women, and how she relate with men and with other women also. And in this point, how reggaeton influence to women it's so important in Karol G's cases because she is working with a lot of powerful women like Nicki Minaj, like Kali Uchis, like the Argentina singer John Miko, and she's trying to put another energy into it. And we can see and we can read, we can see her speaking in different interviews. In a interview that she made for the Rolling Stone in Spanish last year, in November, we can see her not upset, but worried, a little bit worried about the need of how women are expressing ourselves and how historical and even it's a part of anthropological way of how men see women and how in the biological system and in the brain of men are codified in their DNA to see women. And we can hide there is a natural way of being of the human being. And see both slash nail and see both slash nail. So in this case, I would like to talk a little bit about one study made by one university on Spain titled Equality and the Influence of Reggaeton Music as a Socialization Factor, a Critical Analysis. And the abstract of this study said, open quotes, reggaeton music is a very popular among Spanish-speaking young people of high school age. Thus, we intend to examine the values of equality between women and men translated in the lyrics of the music genre using the Maxquita software-assisted thematic analysis methodology. The lyrics of 65 reggaeton songs with the most commercial success during 2020 have been analyzed. The results suggest that the most commercialized reggaeton continues to reproduce certain traditional masculine stereotypes like machismo. In the discussion, we compare the construct alternative approach and position concerning the reggaeton gender. We feel necessary that education space adopt a critical and consciousness-raising approach to reggaeton due to the powerful influence exerted on young people regarding sexual stereotypes. I want to make emphasis on this because when I was reading this paper, this analyzed the music of that huge number of songs from Spotify, YouTube, and they study the Prisa group radio. And also the fact of that they create a contrast between songs about like 2014 or 2016 and that songs to the songs that we are listening right now, that we are enjoying right now, are different, are so there are a huge difference in the lyrics, in the rhythms, in the personality of the artist. And in this case, these people made this paper creating this comparative and creating these coders like an indicators, labels or categories that allow them to contribute of the meaning and to the description of the information coupled. So the copy of information in this way enabled it was a grouping and was interpreted in their interrelationship explained for the analytical and critical perspective. But this is one side, right? We have this side that speak about women rights, that speak about feminism, that speak about representation, and the other side that is the the root side of reggaeton or the root side of urban gender. But at this point, we need to listen carefully the difference between the music, as I say, from 2014, 2016, 2015, and the songs nowadays. And Karol G, it's so powerful and important for the academic also and for the researchers in the academic because she is changing the game. She is a girl speaking about girl stuff, speaking about the girl body, and that is so different. The Latin people has a reference like Ivy Queen in reggaeton, but she is the old school. Karol G is creating a new wave. She's creating, as I say, the Generation G, and she know it, and she has the personality to make it, the personality to make it in fashion, to make it not just in fashion or music, but she is into it, the business, and she knows how her image today is creating a new wave. And we can saw that in that presentation from today's show in the Rockefeller Center in the New York City. That was huge. That was insane. Since Ricky Martin in 199, she was killing it. And we can say that Karol G isn't anymore a reggaeton singer. She has that roots and it's in her blood. But now she's a pop artist. She's a pop star nowadays. And the point of this study gender was that in urban gender are a code system that is composed by words or verbs or adjectives or like liars, control and possession, sexual violence and rap. Oh my god. And the point of all this paper and all this study is that the music of that time and the nowadays music in urban gender, it's so different. Men's are making different the things also. And yeah, we cannot deny that, yeah, there are a few things that still But people like Karol G and Karol G's team are changing the game because it's not just the lyric. It's not. Because it's not just the lyric, it's not just the rhythm, it's the person behind it. And we can see a beautiful, clean, disciplined, curious, ambitious, healthy, awkward, happy, angry, strong, and weak person behind Karol G. And that is the reason why a lot of women feel so identified with her, and not just the female gender, everyone. This is not about a gender. This is about a generation that feels different, a generation that speak about their feelings, and that speak about different languages. And Karol G speak up through the color. And the relationship that she has with the color, it's stunning, it's brilliant. I mean, I need to say Karol G is a super intelligent girl. Because if we see her career, if we see her ideas and how she tried to connect that with the things that are happening, and she's like trying to fix a lot of things that have been broken, not just in the urban gender or reggaeton, in the world in general, in her roots. And I like the latest collaboration with Kali Uchis because she both represent so well the Colombian culture. She represents so well the force and that beautiful heart and that beautiful way of make the things and the making it in the empowering, because they both, sorry, I'm just trying to connect my English words. But Karol G and Kali Uchis, they also work with their bodies, and they both made it in a beautiful way. She both explored their bodies in a beautiful way, and a lot of people feel represented with her. But also, we need we need to go deep down with this, because the lyrics and the language are impacting powerful to our society, and the lyrics of reggaeton now are having the most impact ever in our generations. This podcast is focused in Generation Z. I am a woman from Generation Z, and I can see, not just saying like, I saw the people around me listen all the time Karol G. Yeah, that is a part. But also, as an academic woman and as a lover of research, we can, and the statistic can confirm that the reggaeton lyrics has a powerful influence in the brain of women and in the brain of children and in the brain of young people. I need to say that this conversation is a sensible conversation, but it's a necessary talk, and that is what it's doing, Karol G. Having that difficult and that sensitive and that fire conversation, because in the reggaeton lyrics, yeah, we can say that the reggaeton has just four tempos and blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. But we need to go deeper. We can say that Karol G isn't anymore a reggaeton singer. She has that roots and it's in her blood. But now she's a pop artist. She's a pop star nowadays. And the point of this study gender was that in urban gender are a code system that is composed by words or verbs or adjectives, or like liars, control, and possessions. And the point of all this paper and all this study is that the music of that time and the nowadays music in urban gender, it's so different. Men's are making different the things also. And yeah, we cannot deny that, yeah, there are a few things that is still, but people like Karol G and Karol G's team are changing the game, because it's not just the lyric, it's not just the rhythm, it's the person behind it. And we can see a beautiful, clean, disciplined, curious, ambitious, healthy, awkward, happy, angry, strong, and weak person behind Karol G. And that is the reason why a lot of women feel so identified with her, and not just the female gender, everyone. This is not about a gender, this is about a generation that feels different, a generation that speak about their feelings. And Karol G speak up through the color. And the relationship that she has with the color, it's stunning, it's brilliant. I mean, I need to say Karol G is a super intelligent girl. Because if we see her career, if we see her ideas and how she tried to connect that with the things that are happening, and she's like trying to fix a lot of things that have been broken, not just in the urban gender or reggaeton, in the world in general, in her roots. And I like the latest collaboration with Kali Uchis because she both represent so well the Colombian culture. She represents so well the force and that beautiful heart and that beautiful way of make the things and the making it in the empowering because they both sorry, I'm just trying to connect my English words, but Karol G and Kali Uchis, they also work with their bodies and they both made it in a beautiful way. She both explored their bodies in a beautiful way, and a lot of people feel represented with her. They need to die, and she's drawing in that margin of the need of that analysis that it's necessary to die and reborn with a different color. When she put a different color in that beautiful hair that she has, by the way, she's reborn and she is learning to us to reborn in a different color. And in reggaeton, we can see different artists trying to speak from freedom, from the need of hugging us. There are references like J Balvin, Bad Bunny that are creating a new wave from people and from a new generation that is trying to explore herself and trying to find her auto self-expression. So that is a reason because not just since academic wave or from an anthropological wave, scientific, historical, philosophical, or whatever, we need to remember that we are made of pop culture. Philosophy was made of pop culture, anthropological, and we are made of pop culture. And in this point, Karol G, if I don't know if you have listened this Maslow theory about his pyramid and the needs pyramid. And I think that Karol G is representing very, very well. And she is representing the toppest of the pyramid, that is auto-realization, because she was covering all of the others. We need to say that urban gender or reggaeton gender was covering like the first topic of this pyramid, that is physiological needs, that is air, water, food, steady, reproduction. And Karol G, she's covering all of it. Safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. So she's trying to show us how became in the best part of ourselves. She's trying to remember us that self-actualization and self-fulfillment needs, it's necessary and we can reach it. I found an article from I found an article from the Mag Review, and actually I want to say nothing about it, but it's funny what people say about the colors, about the relationship that people have with the colors and with the figures. This is a beautiful artwork that help us to recognize the both sides of human being. That is a philosopher called Spinoza, and he say that there is nothing bad from anything and from nothing. It's just the good and the good things. I mean, it's not about the good or the bad. It's just about your is he's good. Only he's good. In this case, only her good. And that is a good perspective to see the world from that Spinoza approach. These two covers were made for the artist Humberto Cruz. Humberto Cruz is a Mexican artist based in San Diego, California, and Humberto has worked with Chanel, Saint Laurent, MTV, Pharrell Williams, and he also has a beautiful perspective from color and from art. And I think that was for that perspective that Karol G picked up the phone and say, I need to talk to you. And she called him. I think he was in Jalisco. And she called him and she said him like, hey, I have been so and so, I have saw your work, I like your work, I would like you made this work for me. He say he's a so beautiful, humble, adorable person. Screen color, the nickname or the artistic name of Humberto Cruz, made a artwork that is inspiring in, I think that in inner childhood. And I think also that Karol G tried to represent that, but also she's trying to represent that imperfect shape of life and imperfect manner of life, and the reason for she is now where is she. A scream color represents the newest era of Karol G. And if you see and if you go to her Spotify, you can see that she's full of color. And through the years, she's trying to show herself as a color person, in the psychological way. And those latest covers represent all the music work of her. And there are all the personalities, all that Karol G's that die, that reborn. It's a Karol G more abstract, more free, feeling more free about how she's feeling, about the about how much confident it's now with herself and with her process and with her music. And if you can see also the scream color work, we need to understand why they work together. A screen color try to broke all that paradigms in art, and Humberto Cruz creates and represents that inner childhood, but that inner childhood that it's recognizing the black and white color days. Today you feel black and white, tomorrow you will feel blue or violet or red or something like that. Or maybe in during the day you're feeling three different colors. But represented that in a so beautiful and also in a healthy way, because nowadays we are in the era of the importance of mental health, and Karol G has begun talking about that, and she's also representing the need of talk about mental health and also talk about your relationships, talk about health, talk about spirituality, but not in a suffocating wave, in a free wave. When you see Karol G's in videos, I don't have the opportunity yet to meet her in person or go in one of her concerts, hope someday, but you can feel that beautiful child soul, that clean work that she is making inside her. And in the Lazarus word, we can see in the cover of Que Chimba Mi Vida, it's a contrast between color and black and white, not just color or not just black and white and pinky and pink. And about the pink and Nicki Minaj, I said that Nicki Minaj and Karol G has a strong relationship. It's obviously that Karol G has a strong influence from this artist, and I think that was a dream come true for her work with Nicki Minaj in Tusa. And when I saw this color in Karol G, I remember the pink print from Nicki. And this pure fire in their eyes and in their lyrics and in their rhythms, that is not just four tempos, that is so nurture and nature and also organic. We can say also that this artwork from Color Scream it's representing this generation, the Generation Z, because the Generation Z is trying to heal a lot of things, but also Generation Z is so connected with Asian culture and so connecting with the cutie and with the need that the world see more cutie and more nowadays. And Humberto Cruz represents all that message of feel freedom drawing. And as Humberto feels freedom drawing, Karol G feels free making music and making business Cause she is a fucking women business. And I love that from her. In an interview that she made for CNA, she said if in some point she stopped to making music, she's going to her name more loudly, and that her name is still you gonna remember me, and you gonna remember Karol G someday as a director of his own clothes brand or directing so important brand of clothes or accessories or something like that. But she's going to be on fashion business deeply. I say this because in an interview 2 years ago, Humberto Cruz says for the Ever Press magazine, they asked him the next question. Who are your dream artists, designers, brand to collaborate with? And his answer, a dream collaboration will be working on a music-related project, probably design an album cover or merch. Music inspired me a lot. This was 2 years ago. And today, he made two album covers. He made a single cover for also a Latin artist. And in an interview that Humberto Cruz made for a Colombian media, he said that work with a Latin artist was such inspiring for her work, for his work, for his vision of artwork. And I think that Karol G is going to making a beautiful work in fashion, and if she is working in the same way she's doing it, she's going to be a big name, a big name in the industry, in the history, in Colombian history, in Latin history, because now she's one of the most influential Latin artists. You can see Color Scream or Humberto Cruz work in his work in his website, thecolorscream.com. You can see her personal work, his personal work, his professional work. I'm confused. Remember, this is a podcast also for learn and practice English. So you can see his work, personal, professional, and other work, his marriage, something like that. You need to go to screamcolor.com and see his work, share his work, and you're gonna understand a little bit more about these two cover albums, Mañana Será Bonito y Bichota Season. In November 11 of 2023, Karol G made an interview. No, I'm lying. That was the photo cover. You need to go to billboard.com in Spanish and see this incredible article and these great photographs. This photograph was made in the Power Room studio in LA, and she's wearing a sunglasses that is like a vintage sunglasses. And in this article, the reporter asked her about what is she expecting about about life, what she wants. The question was she wants. And she answered, she has, she has, that she has come very far, but she wants more. She wants more, and she wants bigger. She wants be the most extreme artist. She wants to be bad side of that incredible artist. And this year she is going to his Latin tour, and she's gonna doing great. She's gonna. I hope she rock it. She rock her body, rock her music, rock her country and her roots and all. And she has made everything in the industry, from zero to all. She's the kind of girl all or nothing, and she has worked so hardly. And I don't know her, but I feel so proud of her, and she inspired me to even make this podcast, to make this in another language that is not my native language. And yeah, I feel so proud of Karol G and Karol G's journey. And also, she's opened a door for Latin people, and it's beautiful how she doing it. It's inspiring. It's healthy because she's human. She has all humors, all colors, and I love that from Karol G. I love their 2 new albums. I love the art covers. I love that collaboration with Humberto Cruz. And I love how she is breaking all the walls in urban genders and giving a new space and a new spectrum for all this memory that people has about reggaeton music. And she's changing the game. She's changing the game, and the other girls that are doing it right now are changing the game, but this girl is like the pioneer of a lot of things. Yeah, this was a little review update about Karol G's new era, and I hope you like this first episode about Talk on Talk. I hope you can listen the next episode. I hope also that you can learn, enjoy, having fun, but most at all, it's that this space helps you to create the right question for your future and for your actual mindset or mind state. So Karol G teach us a lot of lessons about mental health, about work flow, about discipline, about a lot of things. And I would like to start with her because she is a pioneer of self-love. We start with a question this episode. Is Karol G redefining the concept of urban music and helping to create a completely new and less anthropocentric generation? I think we were able to solve it, clarify the issue. And since Talk on Talk, we are moved by simple but good questions. And we're gonna close with the next one. Do you think that subscribing to our podcast will help you to learn English in an entertaining way? So, go now to listen to Karol G's latest album, The Chocolate Season, for dance and practicing your future second language.